All right, so before I start, I just want to tell Cap I wanted to go over something real quick. Something that's been on my mind. Brothers, who here got kids, brothers? Who got kids in here? Let's see. Ephraim, you got kids? Oh, yeah, that's right. You do got kids. Oh, right. Oh, stand up, brothers. Hey, all praise to the Most High, y'all. All praises to the Most High. Give this brother the mic. Now, I'm going to ask you, stay. What's your son's name again, bro?
Azariah.
Azariah.
Yeah, Azariah.
Azariah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All praise to the Most High, man. So here's my question to you, brother. How does the Lord say you must raise your kids?
What is that? Psalms 70.
Who's reading?
Was that Psalm 73, 78?
Yeah. Lyle?
Check.
Oh, God. All right. I guess I'll settle for Lyle.
You got to prove yourself now, Lyle.
Just don't sing the scriptures, brother.
Thank you.
Don't sing the scriptures. Hey, that brother better get better on FCN, though. That brother start reading like a warrior. Go ahead, Razzies.
Psalm 78 and 5. Oh, you want me to read it, Cap?
No, I want Lyle to read it.
Psalms. Check. Psalms chapter 78 and verse 5. For he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers, that they should make them known to their children.
So we're supposed to make known to our children the laws of our forefathers, the history, all the things that we've been through in the scriptures, right? Read.
That the generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born.
Right, so even our children that should be born, we're supposed to raise them up in the law, statutes, and commandments, go over the history, like what happened in Egypt and the different captivities, why we went into slavery, why these things happened, right? Read.
Who should arise and declare them to their children, that they might set their hope in God and not forget the works of God, but keep his commandments.
And that's the key point right there, to make sure our children keep the commandments and don't forget the works of God.
Okay, so here's my next question. What does God say about the manner of kids?
They evil from their youth, from birth. They folly's in the wickedness of the.
Okay, so what does that mean?
That children, they're gonna do foolish things off rip. They're gonna do these things, and it's up to us as parents to make sure we correct them and guide them the right way.
So all right, who fathers, where you at? Fathers, where you at? Fathers, where you at? Shem, right here. How does God tell you to discipline your kids?
He said, spank them on the side.
Okay. Can we get that? I don't think it says spank. But we're going to read it.
Beat.
Oh, it's a big difference. Spank is not in the Bible. Spank is not in the Bible. I just want y'all to understand that. Timeouts is not. God don't use the term spank. God don't use the term timeout. He say beat. Y'all see the difference? They didn't spank us in slavery. They beat us. Big difference. Yeah. Let's read it real quick. This is not to put you on the spot. I just got a lot of animosity in me this week. Go ahead, read that.
Sirach chapter 30 and verse 12. Bow down his neck while he is young, and beat him on the sides while he is a child, lest he wax stubborn and be disobedient unto thee, and so bring sorrow to thine heart. Chastise thy...
Stop. Explain that, Shem.
He's going to bring sorrow to your heart, because if you don't chastise them and catch them early, if you don't beat them early, later on in life, they're gonna have to get beat by the law. They're going to have to get beat by their peers in the street, or they might end up beating somebody over the head and bring shame to your house.
Okay, so, all right, who's another father? One more father. Brother in the back. What's his name? Joseph. What does it mean when it says, and be disobedient and so bring sorrow? What does that mean, Joseph?
Well, I got 16 kids. So when it come to fathers, I can tell you, I got half that do right, and I got the other half, they want to be bisexual, they want to be gangsters, they want to... See, I'm the discipline. My wife... So you know they're gonna take the hub because they get away with what they get away with. So that bring me sorrow when I see my kids go astray, and I'm trying to teach them the right way. They listen, but they not listening.
Brothers, come on, y'all.
Now they go into what they, now they giving all praise and glory to their mama because their mama let them get away with it and do what they want to do. But it's bringing me sorrow because I'm watching my kids destroy themselves.
All praises, bro. You hit it around the head. That's what the sorrow is. The sorrow is you seeing them disrespect you. Seeing that disrespect, that sorrow, like, damn, like, do you know who you talking to right now? You know you talking to me, right? This is your father, this is your mother. I raised you. You gonna disrespect me? That's that sorrow. That's that sorrow. Husbands and wives, mothers and fathers. What's up, Cap?
No.
Mothers and fathers. It is a requirement to beat your children. America might not like it.
Right.
The white man don't want you to do it. But God says, beat your children.
Can I get a scripture? Can I add a scripture?
Please.
Proverbs 23, verse 13. Let's get there. Proverbs 23, verse 13. And then after that, pull Proverbs 29, 15.
Man, you got all the scripture.
Proverbs chapter 23 and verse 13. Withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die.
You see that part right there? A lot of times parents believe if they beat their children, for some magical reason, they're going to die in that correction. No, the Lord said to beat them. But this is why. Read on.
Thou shalt beat him with the rod, and shalt deliver his soul from hell.
You shall deliver that child's soul from death. Because I don't know who said it, but someone said that the world will punish them. A lot of times that punishment is death.
Yep.
That's why it says you shall deliver their soul. You're correcting them. You're preparing them for the world. Proverbs 29, 15.
Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 15. The rod and reproof give wisdom.
That rod, that correction, it gives them wisdom. Not to do, to obey your parents. Read.
But a child left to himself bringeth his mother to shame.
That's what?
Bringeth his mother to shame.
So women, mothers that play with their kids, conquer their children, put their children on pedestals, that don't bring forth the rod of correction, is going to bring you to shame. You're going to be ashamed of that child.
Hey, go to Proverbs 13:24. Yeah, I beat you to it.
Proverbs.
About 15 other scriptures in there. Proverbs 13:24. Read that, what God says.
Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 24. He that spareth his rod hateth his son.
That's how much God is down for ass whoopings.
Right.
Whoop them. God is all for that. He loves it because, and going back to that scripture you just had in Proverbs 29:15, the end of it said, or the first part of it says, the rod and reproof give wisdom. So it's not just that you are whooping them many times and not telling them what they're doing wrong, but it says the rod and, somebody fix my mic, the rod and reproof. So you have to explain to your kids why you are punishing them, and it's not, so it doesn't just seem like you beating them for no reason. God says, pull out the rod and then give them some reproof so that wisdom comes behind it. They won't keep doing the same thing. As they get older and you get older, you'll begin to have some joy with the children. But if you just whoop them and don't give them no reproof behind it, you're gonna whoop them their whole damn life.
Right.
Because they ain't never learned their lesson. You ain't explained it to them. So read verse 24 again.
He that spareth his rod hateth his son.
That's because you are not reproving them in the right way so that they can walk and survive on their own when they leave your house. Read on.
But he that loveth him chasteneth him betimes.
Many times. You know what that means? You don't let it slip.
Right.
That means you don't get tired of whooping their ass.
I don't.
I know my daddy didn't. He didn't get tired of whooping me until but after a certain amount of whoopings, I got wise. And the belt went away and it started getting kicks in the ass. I got wise. And you stop there, but you can't. You can't turn away from that and let them do their own thing. It's only to their own demise, especially out here. Because what will they do now? If you don't train them up and you don't chastise them betimes, they are waiting on them to go through that school to prison pipeline so they can be a statistic and they could be right in there keeping up America. And if it's not a male, she's going to end up being a baby mama and they're going to put her on government assistance and they got her too.
Like the scriptures say, end up pregnant in her father's house.
Hey, this is another one. Get Proverbs chapter 19 and verse 18. And this is for the fathers and mothers. Mothers, do not intervene when a father is punishing his child. Yep. Just like what Cap brought out in FCN, there's a time when we said enough is enough. That iniquity that child has done, it has filled up. It's overflowing the cup now. Now it's time for me to step in. Read that.
Proverbs chapter 19 and verse 18.
Read.
Chasten thy son while there is hope.
When is the best time that you could get through to your son or your daughter? When is the best time? Shem.
When they're young.
When they're young. That's why in Sirach chapter 30 it says a horse not broken is headstrong. It's going to do whatever he want to do. While they're young, you have time to adjust the way they live. And I see she has a way of trying to have a manly spirit. Let me keep her more around the women now.
She's a liar.
Right. You see these things, you catch it. You deal with it right there on the spot. Read it again.
Chasten thy son while there is hope.
There is hope while they're young. That's the best time to correct whatever they're doing wrong. Read on.
And let not thy soul spare for his crying.
What's the first, before we even whoop the child, what do they start doing? They start crying and you already start feeling sympathy for them. God says do not spare them.
Hey, that make me want to that infuriates me more. I'm gonna give you something to cry for.
Correct. It says let not thy soul spare for his crying. So God knows deep down inside you don't want to whoop that child. You do not want to whoop him because your soul is saying nah, look, he already know what he done wrong. But we men, we know no, he didn't.
Nah, see, this is the thing. Kids in this new millennium, they done got smart. Yeah. See, us, well, back in the day, we used to get whoopings. We cried because we knew the ass whooping was coming. It wasn't no stopping it. Once the belt was grabbed, it was over.
It's done.
The switch, it was over. Now these kids know that if I cry, drop a little tear, got him. Got them. They done got wise. That's because we done slacked as parents doing what God says, chastening them beat times. We slacked on that. And now they out here running wild. What does God call them? Monsters.
Yep.
Learning how to lie and manipulate.
I ain't gonna bring us another scripture out, but that's important because think about it. Whenever when you have to take Kadar in the bathroom, I take Elijah. What happened with the other boys? What do they do?
Oh, they straighten up. Hey, you know who learns quickly more than any of them that I learned? Officer Zion's son, Levi. That boy learned.
Yeah, he learned.
He don't need to get what he sees somebody else going through that torment. He's like, oh.
Yeah, he said, yeah, he chill. For real.
He goes on chill mode for the rest of the night.
Yep. Hey, get Deuteronomy chapter 21 real quick. I'm going to show y'all something. What brought this little segment of we know we call it whoop-ass segment. Whoop-ass segment. We need to do that. Light Up Party, part 2. Hey, we've been meaning to do a part 2 on that. Light Up Party. So, my daughter, everybody know who my daughter is, Anaya. She finds us. See, I'm an open book. I'm gonna let y'all know. I tore that butt up too. But anyway, she finds herself disrespecting her mother, right? So she tells her mother that she cannot whoop her. Only God can whoop her. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What? So then she finds herself. Hey, it's all right, Cap. Put the belt away. Put the belt away. It's gonna be all right. We're gonna deal with it. So then, right? So what else? So all right. So my wife's trying to discipline her, and she's fighting back.
No.
She moving, pushing. No. So the foolish is bound in the heart of a child. So I hear about it. So you know my agenda. So I get home. See, hey, this is how I like to do it. I get home and I like to act like nothing's wrong. I get home, I eat, I started going over some scriptures.
Hey.
I started reading a little bit.
Hey, real talk. Back in the day, when you didn't get that whooping, as soon as they walked through the door, you was like, oh, they forgot. They forgot.
Hey, so I'm sitting on the couch, and in the room I could see her looking at me. So my mind, I'm like, whatever, I'm playing with Oxley and all that, reading a little bit. So I said, well, I guess it's time for me to go into ass whooping mode. Every father in here know about ass whooping mode. We all fun and games until it's time to get down with the get down. So, but the disrespect don't stop there. So I go in the room, I'm talking to her, So make a long story short, she tells me that she would have rather God punish her than me give her a whooping. She said, I'd rather God judge me.
Hey, Cat.
I don't know. I want God to judge me. I said, look, girl, do you know what you're saying right now? And then, hold on. Then she started to do this.
Oh.
I said, oh, damn. I found myself about to, I'll take it here and bring it back. So, I end up doing what I got to do. But just to let y'all know, we don't teach that. But for some reason, how the hell she got in her mind to say, I would rather God judge me and doing this right here. And then she found herself trying to overtalk me. I just want to let y'all know what's been going on. That's why the Lord put this on my spirit to bring these scriptures out. Light up party.
Hey, Cap, though, real quick, the scripture does say, ye are gods, so you fulfill the wish.
Yeah. Hey, you're the spirit. Hey, you heavy. That's some heavy stuff. That brother deep. No, I want God to judge me. No. I'll tell you straight. I'll just tell her one thing. Never mind. Here we go. Get Deuteronomy 21 and read verse 18 on down. Watch this. I'm going to show y'all something.
Deuteronomy.
Watch this.
Chapter 21 and verse 18.
Come on.
If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son
Or daughter.
which will not obey the voice of his father.
Come on. Got to read quick.
Or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him will not hearken unto them.
Y'all hear that? So it says the mother and the father be doing everything God instructed them to do. Chastise them, discipline them, correct them, and teach them, and let them know why you're doing it. Right. And it says the daughter rebellious behind, rebellious 6-year-old still don't want to do what they tell her to do. Read.
Then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him and bring him out unto the elders of his city.
Into the elders of the city. Do y'all see how it didn't stop with the mother and the father? The mother and the father brought that child to who? The leaders, the leadership. Because a lot of times we got rebellious ass kids and we keep it at home. Right. We don't like to tell nobody that our kids is bad as hell. And we can't, right. They don't want us up here to let them know that, hey, what you're doing is not what God tell you to beat they, but are you disciplining them? Well, I put them in timeout. I took them with their PS4. Read.
and unto the gate of his place.
Come on.
And they shall say unto the elders of his city,
They shall say unto the leadership, come on,
this our son is stubborn and rebellious.
rebellious as hell. Read.
He will not obey our voice.
Come on.
He is a glutton and a drunkard.
Read.
And all the men of his city.
Stop. Right there. And all the men of the city. Do y'all see how it went from 2 to the elders to God say, all right, now every last one of y'all, all y'all gonna help discipline this child. Do y'all see that? As a body, it takes everybody in here to discipline children. Discipline ain't just at home by the mother and the father. Discipline is here from the soldiers, from the officers, from the sisters, from the aged woman. Keep reading.
And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones.
Now, we ain't stoning nobody with stones. But that first part, and all the men of the city, all the people of the body, all the women, all the men, when you see something, you need to do something. Because a lot of things, a lot of children is learning things from here. A lot of times, a lot of things that children learn, it comes from the school. You'd be surprised the things that we have seen up here. You'll be surprised the things that we have heard kids do. And then you tell their mother and father, I don't teach them that. Well, they're learning it from somewhere. It takes all of us collectively to raise children. Whether you got kids or not, you know what's wrong. You know how a kid's supposed to act.
And that goes into, especially you sisters, letting your light shine. For your daughter to do this, and she's 6, and they homeschool, right? Yeah. So she ain't got no contact with the ungodly kids out there in the world.
Nope.
Guess where she learned that from, sisters?
You.
Somebody over here
is doing this,
and she's mimicking
and she's picking it up. That's why, Cap, you say it all the time. It's no reason for middle schoolers to be casually having conversations with grown women. It's no reason for little infant children to gradually be having conversation with teenage girls. There's no reason for that. If y'all ain't talking about scriptures, little 6-year-old, you need to go play with the other little 6-year-olds. But what we do is, it be a 15, 16, and her best friend is a 7-year-old.
Hey, and be honest now, we was all kids when we was younger. You know, we want to be cool, especially us men. Who did we hang around? Let's see. Who knows? Who did we hang around when we wanted to learn the ways of the world and be cool? Officer Daniel, who'd you hang around? Who'd you hang around?
I always hung around the adults.
The adults.
Grown
okay.
men.
Okay. Anybody else? Let me see. Officer Sirach.
My older cousins.
Okay, your older cousins. What about you, Ruben?
All the people that you were admiring, so like people on the block, people that were up to no good that you wanted to be like them.
I'm going to tell you who taught me wickedness. It was my uncles. Oh, there you go. Okay, Judah. Judah knows that. It was us. We was hanging around our uncles. We 12, 13 years old. Our uncles 25, 27 years old. How you think we found out about girls? That's right. It was our uncles that taught us that. Hanging around the older ones. So you, like we say all the time, I be seeing these kids 6, 7 years old hanging around teenagers, and y'all ain't got no Bible out. What y'all ain't talking about nothing righteous that they can learn from. Right. Y'all talk about whatever happened to y'all in your little high school or out in the world, and they listening to it. And you don't think they paying attention, but they right here. They like it. You up here, and they right down here like this.
Yep, looking dead in your mouth.
And everything you say, and then you go walk off, and they go trot behind you, skipping right behind you, like, look here. Think it's all fun and games until something happened, and then what they learn from you comes out. Only God can judge me.
Only God.
Where does a 6-year-old ain't got that kind of
no type of sense? Well, that's what I'm saying. Folly, man. That's the most I say. They evil from youth. But that goes to show you that, you know how they always say it takes a village to raise a child. That's the truth, man, right there. Right, we just read the proof of it. So now it's not a myth anymore. Right, it's not just a saying. We just read the proof. All the men of the city shall stone them or discipline them.
While we on this, so that's why, sisters, y'all be hearing sometimes these little kids be running around, y'all, playing damn Ring Around the Roses, and it's 75 of y'all standing right here, and I'm sitting at the table like, do nobody see these bad kids just running around? They running through y'all like this. I'm like, is any one of y'all gonna snatch their ass up? And y'all don't,
hey,
y'all don't say that. It take me and the captains up here be like, hey,
sit down,
stop running. And no, they running around y'all in circle. I be like, oh my goodness, these women here.
Cap, you know what it is, Cap? I'm gonna tell you. They don't. I'm gonna tell you what's going on. The older sisters that know that don't fly, don't say nothing. Because you got older sisters that know these kids need to go sit down somewhere.
Yeah.
They need to pull their sister Jodo. Yeah. Your child is bad as hell. You need to tell them to have a seat. Nobody does that. What happens is they speak out, so then the mother just expect them to speak out every time. Nah, that's not how it works. That is not how it works. We shouldn't be the ones up here watching out for kids all the doggone time. Okay, make sure oh damn, she's eating. Make sure she don't choke. I'm up here taking her. Let me make sure. Oh, she just gave her some goldfish. Oh, let me make sure she don't choke. Oh, what's going on? We shouldn't have to do that.
I'm telling y'all know what we be talking about up here at this table. And we see everything. We see when kids get food and then you sit them down in that chair and you walk off and leave them by themselves.
Who you think be watching them? We watch them.
We watching y'all kids to make sure they don't choke because y'all walk off on them. And we be up here stressed, like make sure you chew your food. And we sit here watch them.
Yeah, watch them.
Like, hey, don't put all that food in your mouth. We literally be saying that to your kids sitting up here in the front row and stuff over here. We be saying it to the kids.
Hi, I just wanted to vent a little bit. Yeah, you feel better though, right? I feel better too. Message. Lord's will, sisters pick it up and brothers pick it up.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.